Hello, coders! How is everyone today? I hope everybody's well. Thank you all for joining. Hey, Exabyte. Hey, Mr. DB303. It's Sunday at last. And, have you noticed? You might be able to see my bags in 4K. I hope I've got the synchronization going okay with the audio and the video. So usually I would use a camera, a webcam, but that's not with me at the moment. So I'm using my normal camera that I would do my YouTube videos with. You don't need to know all this. Anyway, I hope it all works well. What I'm going to do today is the Python code challenges, right? We're going to do reviews on those. There's 3 submissions to go through, and they are awesome. I've just reviewed them. Well, I reviewed them today, sort of prior to the stream, obviously. Very good. Very, very, very good. And then I'm going to be announcing the JavaScript challenge. It's going to be another game. Okay, let's get into it. So, this is the August 2020 code challenges. It is Python based. So I'll put this in the links in the chat, whatever Twitch calls it these days. I look saturated. Right. So. This is codechallenges.howtocodewell.net, and there was 3 challenges here, and we'll start from the top. These 3 Python challenges focus on tuples, sets, dictionaries. There really should be a comma there. I do apologize. Dictionaries and strings. Create a GitHub repository with a Python file per level, which you've all done. Super, super cool. And then submit your GitHub repository to the coding challenges channel. At the How to Code Well Discord server, and then I will review these live on Twitch at the end of August. That's what we're doing at the moment. I know it's not the end of August, we're now in September, but you know, things happen. Okay, how many times, this is the first level, find the duplicates in a Python tuple. So how many times is 1 duplicated in the following tuple? So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 5, 6, 7, 4, and 1. Ugh. For example, 1 is in the tuple 4 times. So yeah, create a little function that will do that, just to print out how many times 1 is in there. Level 2, print the max and min numbers of this set. So that's the Python set. For example, 8 and 32. 8 being the minimum, 32 being the maximum. Okay, so then level 3, count the characters in a string. So this is a little bit more tricky. So create a function that counts the characters in a string. Row your boat is the string that we're going to use. The function should return a dictionary where the index is the character and its value is the character count. So for example, R is 3, B is 1, and for the eagle eyes of you, you'll know that row your boat has 4 R's, not 3, 4. However, there's 3 uppercase and 1 lowercase. Some of you spotted that. Awesome. Okay, R is found in the string 3 times, B is found in the string 1 time, and so on. Just checking the old stream stats. I think it's okay, the bit rates. I'm a little bit curious with this camera, to be honest, because it's more higher def, so I don't know. I hope it's going to be okay. I hope we don't cut out. Anyway, let's get into the challenges. So as I mentioned, there was 3, and what we've got here in September, we got Exabyte, Liquid Oxygen, and Mr. DB303. Some superb Python work here. Which one shall I pick on first? Oh, good. All good your end. Excellent. Good. That's great to hear. Let's pick on let's pick on liquid oxygen first. So, well, I'll open them all up. Because some things in liquid oxygen's one caught my eye. It was either in that one or... Yeah, okay. So we got level 1. So this is all good. This is how I wanted it, which is fantastic. So let's go to level 1 on liquid oxygen first. Okay. No, this wasn't the one. Hang on, bear with me a minute. 2 seconds. Yes, it was this one. It was Mr. DB's. Let's do Mr. DB's first. Alright, Mr. DB's. Because what Mr. DB has done is he's created 2 approaches to this, which is great, because this makes me feel like they're, this is proving, that a lot of thought has been put into this. And it's interesting the differences between the two, and that's what I wanted to sort of pick on first. If that's alright, Mr. DB303. I keep getting network issues, actually. It keeps coming up and saying there's network issues. Let me just close that laptop lid. Close everything that could be on the possible network. Let's come off of this. I'm on the network on that one. Yeah, no. Give me a second. I need the bandwidth. Right. Okay, so there's 2 approaches. First approach here, and this is the thing about getting the counting the number of digits within this tuple. So you have a supplied tuple here. We'll pick on this approach first, and then we'll have a look at this one. So this one here, didn't scroll up. Yeah, coding challenge level 1. Find the duplicates in a Python tuple. So how many times is 1 duplicated in the following tuple? For example, 1 is in the tuple 4 times. So this approach uses the inbuilt Python methods and objects to do that, which is incredibly clever, because essentially this is the answer. So what we're doing here is this is the tuple that is set to this variable supplied underscore tuple, like so. And then we have a variable here called look for. So that is the value that we want to look for within this tuple. So this is a tuple. This is obviously an integer, hence the str. So approach 1 is using the built-in function. So the built-in functions here is supplied tuple, which is getting that object, and then running the method count, and then look for, which is 1. And this just shows you how beautiful Python is, because this is really, it says what it's doing. You're counting for a value in the tuple, in the object that you've created here, in the supplied tuple here, which is just, brilliant. It's just so readable, this. So massive hats off to Mr. DB for doing this. I'm going to run this now in the old, let's just clear this down. I don't think I'm in. Let's go to Mr. DB 303. Okay. ls, go into the repository, and then do Python, and it's level1.py. Okay, so yeah, so the output is the same for both approaches. So 1 is in the tuple 4 times. So what that's doing is you're putting in 1 in here, so that's the variable 1, and you're saying find the count of that 1 within this tuple. So that's the clean approach. The second approach is creating it using a custom function. So find instances of, you're passing in two parameters here, the value and the tuple data. So find instances of, look for, so that is the thing that you're looking for, which again is being defined up here, which is 1, and then the supplied tuple. Another thing I really like about this, Mr. DB, is that you've used the same variables for both of these approaches, which is good. Okay, anyway, so instances is equal to 0, 4 element in range. then you're getting the length of the tuple data. So this is creating a range of all of this, okay? Then for element in range, if value is equal to the tuple data element, then the instances is greater than 1. Why is my network? I keep getting the whole welcome to the chat room thing. That's quite disturbing. So return the instances. And yeah. But can you see how this can be totally simplified just in this single line? So yeah, hats off. I'm going to keep going down Mr. DB's work because he's also put different approaches in the other ones as well. So I'm going to basically pick on this for a bit. Okay, so level 2. Find the max and min of a Python set. Print the max and min of Python sets, of this set, sorry. So 8 would be the minimum, 32 would be the maximum. And again, he's used the inbuilt methods functionality of Python to do this, and also created his own way of doing it himself. So this is all that's needed. So max example set, min example set. I did have the actual documentation up. I think I've got the ranges and stuff up here, but yeah, essentially you see what's happening here, right? And then in approach 2, creating and using custom functions, we have get underscore max and get underscore min. These are functions, so you get the maximum and the minimum for the element in the data set. If the element is less than the minimum, then the minimum is equal to the element. So that just keeps looping through until we've got the whole set done. And it's pretty much the difference between, the opposite of this one. So this one's looking for greater than, this one is looking for less than. I suppose what you could have done is created a single function with a parameter to decide what the operator is, but you know, what have you. And then, yeah, so the front logic is kind of similar. However, these require methods. So this is the best way of doing it, in my opinion. So hats off there. Okay, level 3. Coding challenges level 3. Count the characters in a string. Okay. So create a function that counts the characters in the string row, row, row your boat. And again, I've mentioned that R is in here multiple times. So you've got a lowercase r and you've got uppercase R's. The function should return a dictionary where the index is the character and the value is the character count. I've been told it's lagging a bit. I might have to tweak the bit rate. Okay, so that's the sentence, fine. And then this is the function, so get letter underscore dict, passing in the line. So get line, that's passing in the sentence, okay, fine. So you create a blank dictionary here, so char underscore dict, okay. So for letter in line, so you're looping over each one of these letters, douche, 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 okay. If letter not in char dict, so if there isn't the letter, so if you think of each one of these things, right, if that isn't in the dictionary, then you use the inbuilt Python method update, and then you're updating that with the dictionary, with the key and the value, key being the letter and the value being 1. Else, you do char dict and then letter, so that's the key, and then what you do is you grab that value and then you plus 1. You could have done plus equals plus 1 perhaps, but really it doesn't really matter. So yeah, that's really good. I like the fact that we have the update on here. I guess you could have used set default maybe, but I mean, it's fine. It's fine. So Mr. DB303, I think you've done really, really super well. That's hats off. I love the approaches. Really, really clever. Good way of thinking. All right, let's move on to the next one, which is liquid oxygen. So I'm going to just close all this down to, and you know, I've only ran the first one, but I tell you what, let's just run the second one and the third just to prove that these work. I know they work because I've tested them myself, but let's just do this. So L2. So there we go. The maximum number in the set is 32. The minimum number is 8, and you can see that that is the same in the custom function. So that's level 2. Let's do level 3. And then here you've got the letter distribution for a string row, and cleverly, right, doing it in this in this way of doing it, because we're carving up the letters. There's no care whether it's uppercase or lowercase. You are putting in the character. If the character is different, a different case, it is classed as a different character, a different key. So that has caught that. So you've got R is 3, and then you've got R here is 1. I mean, to tidy it up, I suppose you could have just removed the blank space, but you know, because that's saying blank space is 4, but that's fine. That's fine. Hey, Marco. Moving on to liquid oxygens. So we do L1 here. Okay, so again, find the duplicates in a tuple. So this approach is different. This approach is using sort of a custom way of doing it. I'm going to pick on Mr. DB303s again. This here is essentially what could have been used, right? So in this one, we're actually creating a function, and we've got a count here, which is the variable, and we're looping through t in tuple. And then if t is equal to the search item that we're searching for, which would be 1, then the count gets incremented by 1. And then underneath here, we do a print f. The number search item shows up counts times in this tuple. Again, I'm going to run this as well. One thing I would suggest is perhaps having this return the count rather than print this out. So you would, so you wouldn't mix the logic of actually printing it to a display from actually counting, right? Because this is saying count. This isn't saying render or display or anything. So that, I mean, that would be one thing here. Not for long. Oh, no. I'm going to be doing, the next challenge is a JavaScript one. So, we're going to be building a JavaScript game, another one. Tic-tac-toe, in fact. But anyway, I'll talk about that more in a second. Okay, so yeah, let's run this quickly on the command line. So we're now coming out of Mr. DB's, and we're going into liquid oxygen, and I think we need to go into here. Yep, do an ls, and we're going to run this against Python level 1. Yeah, the number shows 4 times. Number 1 shows 4 times in tuple. Yep. So perfectly fine. Does the thing that I wanted it to do, which is great. Just a couple of points. One being that all of this could be condensed down into this supplied tuple count look for, and also just having print statements within the actual functions as well. Okay, moving on to level 2. Find the max and min of a Python set. So we're doing it by bounds. So set to search. So one thing I would point out here is the fact that we've got some funkiness going on with the actual parameters. In Python, it should be underscores between separating the words of a parameter, rather than camel case. Or at the very least, pick one and run with it. So for instance, we've got find bounds being uppercase and then D being a lowercase. So this is called camel case, essentially. Whereas it really should be underscore. But, you know, I'm not going to start that war. All right, so what are we doing here? We've got this set, so that's the set that we're looking for. And then we have bounds, find bounds in this set. So what this is doing is it's finding the smallest and largest within here, within the set. Again, what we could have done, as Mr. DB303, I'm going to pick on this one a lot, is we could have just used the max and min inbuilt functionality. In fact, what I'll do, because I'll actually bring this up as, let's get to the top here. I'll bring this up as, so Python, I guess this might work. I haven't clicked on this one before. Yeah, so you would have max sets and then min sets. Not really a good example here, but you know, it's I just wanted to show you something that wasn't just my own or Mr. DP's code. Right, let's move on to the actual internals of this. So if the length of the set is less than 1, if the length of, okay, so we sort the set first. Sorted. Okay, if the length is, then we get the smallest number, largest is none. Okay, all right. Okay, so this is like a little check to see if it's okay. And then else here we return smallest, so we're actually returning a dictionary. Okay, so I don't think this is required. But I see your thinking, because what you've done essentially is taken it from the actual, from display. How am I going to display this? Okay, I need some bounds, so the smallest and the largest. Okay, so that needs to go into a dictionary. Fine. So now we supply the sets that we want, and then we loop through and we discover whether it's large or small, and we're using the negative here to, right? Okay, I see what this is doing. It certainly could be completely simplified though. Exabyte already has one built in TypeScript. Does that count? Right, now you've said you've done it in TypeScript. Let's change that up. Let's do something else. Let's do that in am I feeling nasty? Do it in Flow. Or just do it in vanilla JavaScript. All right, level 3. I promise my voice has broken. Level 3. Right, count the characters in a string. Okay, so what we're doing here is we're passing in string, I guess, from, so row your boat. Here we go. Passing in the string to here, and then we are creating a dictionary. Fine. We're getting str to list. List is, okay, so we're converting this to a list. Not entirely sure we need to do that. Then we're sorting them. Key to str lower. Reverse is true. I'm not entirely sure that's required. No, I don't think it is. Because as I mentioned down in here, it's just going to return R as 3 and then lowercase r is 1, so that should be okay. So down here what we're going to do is it's now in a while loop, so while str to list, so we're looping over the list. Okay, we could have just looped over this as a for and then picked out the letters. Letter to test, so we're now popping one off of the string to list. Okay, if letter to test strip. Okay, so then we've got, so that's one if statement, and then I'm not sure why that's there, but okay, if letter to test in char, there's a lot of sort of defensive programming going on here, I see. So, you know, making sure that they're in lowercase, making sure that we're stripping things down. I get that, I totally appreciate that. If letter to test in char count letter to test +1 or else char count letter to test is 1. So we're now applying these to the dictionaries. Okay, I get that. Row, row, row your boat. So we're doing a case-sensitive count per character, and then we're doing a caseless count per character. So count per character str, and then count per char. Hang on a minute. Oh yeah, there's two. I've missed the functions in there. There's two functions. Hang on. Oh yeah, to upper. Charless. Caseless, sorry. Print caseless. Print caseless. Although it is cased because you've uppercased it. Okay, let me run this as the old in the thing. So we'll do level 3. So we've got A is 1. Ah, right. Okay. So I gotcha. So sorting them obviously puts them in the sorted order. Fine. I see. And we've got lowercase r is 1, uppercase r is 3. That's clever. But if we're doing it with a caseless character, we've got everything uppercased. So it is caseless. I see what you're saying there. That makes sense. And then there we're saying that r is 4. I gotcha. All right. It's very interesting to see how people approach this problem. It really is this, and come up with a solution. It really does. Okay, chat. Exabyte has apparently done next month's challenge. So I think we need to find him something else to do, which is difficult. All right, talking about Exabyte, let's have a look at Exabyte's work. So we go into level 1. Okay, so this is interesting. We're using the main here, which is nice to run from. We got some constants up here. That's pretty cool. We've got some return. This is nice. Good. Some data typing. That's nice as well. I like this approach a lot. So count duplicate numbers. So number tuple to find, and then numbers dot count. That is essentially what Mr. DB was doing. Supply tuple dot count. Yep. It's just you've put it in a method, which is nice, and in the method you're supplying the actual bits and pieces, which is nice. The data types. That's the word I'm looking for. Yeah, perfect. Let's run this through. So we are now on Exabyte. So we go out of this, come out of this one, go into Exabyte 3, and then do an ls. Go into HTC, blah 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 blah. There we go. And I'm going to run Python and what did you call it? level_1.py. Number of duplicate ones in the tuple is 4. Yes. Oh, I see. Right. Okay. No. Okay. All right. Done deal. I gotcha. All right. So Exabyte is going to come up with a vanilla JavaScript version of the tic-tac-toe. Good man. All right. Level 2. We're importing typing from tuple. Okay. Right, so get min_max, so number set tuple. And we're returning a tuple of. That's clever. That's very clever. So we're returning min and max as a tuple as min and max. This is very, very clever. This is the set. Min and maximum, get min, set, passing in the set. So we are deconstructing the tuple on the way out. tell you're a JavaScript dev. And then we're getting the minimum and the maximum here. That's very, very clever. I'm impressed. I don't think, I probably wouldn't have done that myself, but I can see that this approach is far better than how I would have done it. Yeah, it's very clear. I like it. You're using the inbuilt functionality here, min and max. So you're not actually doing anything wild, like going through and iterating over the bits and pieces. You're using return types. This actually is quite beautiful to think about this. PHP, please take note. Well, you've done that, sir. You've done that. Let me run this in this. Let's just run this. Make sure it does work. I'm sure it does. It reads well. Min is 8, maximum is 32. Okay, cool. Good. Okay, level 3, and I bet this is 3.8, right? 3.7, 3.8. I'm running 3.7, but it looks like it's got the new toys in. Count underscore letters, passing in a string, dictionary. It returns a dictionary, 4 letters. Yep, exactly the same as I think it was Mr. DB on this one. No. It was this one. Yeah, very similar to this. If letter in results, we set it to +1, so we're incrementing, and then if not, we're just setting it as 1. Yeah. And then here we've got the sentence, row, row, row your boat. We're getting counted letters. Counted letters. Hang on a minute, what's going on there? Counted letters is equal to count letters. Sorry, that is the method. I was going to say, passing in that. Right, for L as C in counted letters.items. So we're looping through the items of the dictionary. And we're coming out with L and C. L being kind of like the key. C being the value. No, that's the wrong way around. L being the value, C being the key. So the key would be the letter, right? L. It makes sense. L being the letter, and then C being the count. So here we've got a L appears this many times. If the count is greater than 1, else... Okay, right, so that's an if statement. I gotcha. This is... okay. Okay. You know what? I haven't actually seen that before. Print. Let me just... Oh, no, I have. This is a ternary. Of course it is. Sorry. S. That's the S. This is so clever. So times. So 1 being time, and then multiple. If it's greater than 1, then we would apply the S on the end. You've thought this through. Very cool. Okay, let me run that. So what are we on? Level 3. R appears 3 times, O appears 5 times, space 4 times. I'm just checking for the lowercase r. Yep, lowercase r is 1 time. Excellent. Gotcha. Very, very clever. Hats off. That's very good. There's a pip file in here too. Let's have a look at that. Yeah, 3.8. Thought so. You show off, you. Yeah, so some really, really good submissions. Really, really good. I'm very pleased. A couple of pointers with some of them. There are inbuilt functions. There are ways of representing variables and methods in terms of naming conventions, that kind of stuff. But really, really good. Didn't I even see some comments in here as well? Very clever. Hats off. I'm going to say probably exabyte 3, Mr. DB, and liquid oxygen in terms of the order. Very different approaches, very clean, very clever. I like it. I'm going to drink some of my tea before it goes cold, because I did spend a while making it, because I did one of those daft things where I went downstairs, made a cup of tea, and then went back upstairs to tinker around. Forgot I made the tea, had to make another one. You were going to do it in TDD, but thought it was overkill. Okay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start the next challenge now. But before that, I'm going to read a section from my book. And I'll go into this mode to do that. Now, unfortunately, the chat seems to disappear every time I do a switch, so bear with me. It's just a second. I'm going to grab the book. I'm having to walk around the network cable. The network cable. I'm currently doing a project in here to sort out the networking here, and it's full of tools and stuff. Like, check this out. This is a bunch of keystone jacks. This is a crimper tool. Somewhere around here is a cable tester and a whole reel of cables. Anyway, enough of that. Let's get to, we were on page 10 last time. This is the book, the TDD Companion. The camera is laggy, is it? Okay, I'll go back to this view. Hopefully, in a smaller setting, it'll be okay. I'm gonna have to sort that out, I think, because that's something to do with the bitrate, I think. Anyway, we're gonna read a bit of this book, all right? So, bring it over here. Right. This page I'm reading says TDD means tests are client number 1. Okay. So, part of the TDD process consists of writing failing tests before the code that will eventually make them pass. Okay. When tests are written before production code, this has several benefits. They come from the fact that these tests have the same orientation towards the code that the client code will have in the future. Tests are essentially the first clients of any behaviors they drive into the system. Here are some examples of what this means, because that doesn't make any sense. Okay, interfaces will be driven from our client's needs. There is compatible with the Gang of Four recommendation to design to interfaces. Yep. Tests will identify any vulnerabilities that clients will experience beforehand. For example, if the test needs to use magic numbers in order to execute, this tells you that clients will have to do the same thing. Redundancies in tests that cannot be factored out is a warning that future clients will contain redundancies. These are just examples. TDD causes us to develop behavior from the outside in. This enhances reusability and limits coupling. Okay. I'm going to just read the top bit a minute again, because that didn't make any sense to me when I first read it. So part of the TDD process consists of writing failing tests before the code that will eventually make them pass. That makes sense. When tests are written before production code, this has several beneficial effects. They come from the fact that these tests have the same orientation toward the code that the client code will have in the future. It's that thing I'm a little bit iffy on. Tests are essentially the first clients of any behavior Sorry, I'll say that again. Tests are essentially the first clients of any behaviors they drive into the system. Here are some examples of what this means. I still don't follow this point. This point here, where I'm pointing at the book, you can't see it, but can you see it? I don't follow this point, where it says they come from the fact that these tests have the same orientation toward the code that the client code will have in the future. They come from the fact that these tests have the same orientation toward the code that the client code will have in the future. Tests are essentially the first clients of any behaviors they drive into the system. Okay, I see that. The first clients of any behaviors they drive into the system. Here are some examples, so I'll just go through these again. Interfaces will be driven from our client's needs. This is compatible with the Gang of Four recommendation to design to interfaces. Okay. Tests will identify any vulnerabilities that clients will experience beforehand. Yes, definitely. For example, if the test needs to use magic numbers in order to execute, this tells you that the clients will have to do the same thing. Yes, redundancies in tests that cannot be factored out is a warning that future clients will contain redundancies. Okay, these are just examples. TDD causes us to develop behavior from the outside in. This enhances reusability and limits coupling. Awesome. Okay. Put the bookmark back in. Okay. Just reading what Exabytes is saying here. I think this means that the client code and the test code like a pair, right? Instead of test code being an add-on. Oh, I see what you mean. Right, because you do it at the start. It's not an add-on because you're doing it at the start. Yeah, okay. Cool. Right, I'm going to slurp some more tea. Thank you very much for following Weird. Awesome username. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Hope you're having an awesome Sunday. What we're going to do today is, or next, I should say, is we're going to kick off the next challenge, which is tic-tac-toe. So we're going to shift from JavaScript and we're going to go into tic-tac-toe. Now, I've just because I've been super busy recently, I normally what I would do is plan this out, right? And actually come with the challenge already defined. I have it defined in my head. I just need to get it down in paper, or in Markdown. So that's what we're going to do today, or now. So this is the code challenges repo, which is this website. And what we're going to do is create a new challenge. So I'm going to copy August. I'm going to paste that in. I'm going to call this September. Add. I'm going to create this as a branch. So normally this is what I would do before the stream. So did I say JavaScript? I meant Python. Sorry. We're going to shift from Python and go to JavaScript. I nearly wrote shift from right, features, and then this is September. Okay, so we'll call this September. What's the date today? The date is... I don't know the date. That's really embarrassing. Let's have a look on my phone. It is the 6th of September. So 06. Oh my god, September. We're passing the first week of September. That just feels wrong. Technologies use JavaScript. Okay, and we're going to set this as the... well, let's have a look at the it was April that we started the, or was it May? No, March. March, we are going to build a game. Yeah, okay, right. Okay, I'm going to just kind of copy this a little bit, just a wee bit, just because it's kind of following what I need. So this was the JavaScript game that we created a while back. Alright, I'm going to just close that down just so I can get a little bit more room, and we're going to bring this out just a wee bit just so I've got something to look at. Alright, so JavaScript. We are going to build a tic-tac-toe game in JavaScript. Okay, it's going to take a couple of months because we are going to split this into two. Just because it takes a bit of time for me to review these things. It's nice to do these in smaller chunks, and tic-tac-toe actually kind of falls into that sort of area where we can split form from functionality quite well. So it's going to take a couple of months, and this is the first part. Okay, so we're going to be building. The first part will be building the actual interface, so building the and also what I'm going to say is in this challenge you'll be setting up the game environment and the user interface. You can mix, it's just going to be JavaScript, so we're going to return this, but I'm going to say you can mix JavaScript, HTML and CSS. Frameworks are allowed, however, bonus points if you use vanilla JavaScript. Okay, level 1. So we're going to do this in different levels, different sort of like stages, if you want. I'm going to remove all of this stuff, apart from all of this. So level 1 is to build the game board. So with tic-tac-toe, let me see if I can get you a photo of what tic-tac-toe. I mean, you all know what that looks like, right? But let's just to visualize it in our heads. So tic-tac-toe is essentially noughts and crosses, right? So there's a little game here. So we can select whether noughts or crosses, right? So you would put in and so now I'm fighting against the machine. So X is the winner. So what I would like first up is the game board. The game board is let's restart. It's a grid of 3x3, right? So 3x3 grid. So in here, in here. So build a 3x3 grid. Okay, center the grid. In the middle of the page, all right? Also, add borders, except for an outside, except for the outside border. All right, so basically, like, sort of make it look like this. So you've got a border down here, border there, there, and there, but you don't have borders on the outer side. All right, and I want it in the middle. I want it in the middle. Sorry, I'm clicking about now. I shouldn't be doing this. Here, right. Make it responsive to screen size. All right, so that's building the game board, right? So you build a 3x3 grid in HTML and CSS. So at this stage, there isn't any JavaScript, okay? It's just HTML and CSS at this stage. There's a don't in the sentence. Frameworks are... Oh, hang on. Let me have a look at that. Frameworks are allowed, however, bonus points if you don't... if you... if you use vanilla JavaScript. Fair enough. Good shout. Okay, so level 2. Level 2. Bring on level 2. Level 2. I want you to choose your what would you call it? Token? Puck? I don't know. Choose well, it's crosses or circles. Okay, so essentially very similar to here, where you've got where you've got the selection, right? You have a, well, no, this isn't a selection, sorry. I want a selection where you choose whether it's your X or a circle. So it's going to be, so it's going to be like a HTML form. So create a form that create a HTML form that allows you to choose your player type, and in brackets I'll have crosses or circles. Okay. Create a HTML form that allows you to choose your player type, crosses or circles. Okay, cool. So once that's selected, what else? I think that's okay. So it's just, I mean, you could do it as radio buttons, like it's either going to be that or this. You could do it as check buttons. I would do radios over check buttons. You could do a drop down, which would be good. Level 3. So none of this in this challenge is anything to do with the actual functionality. It's just building the environment, building the user interface, making it look decent. Level 3 is create a leaderboard. Very much like this, right? So X's and circles. So this leaderboard. Oh, sorry. Nah, that's not right. Create a leaderboard above the game that displays the current score and the current player and the player type. Cool. Symbol, player symbol. Yes, that's clever. Good shout. Does that mean that we shouldn't use a canvas? Yes. I had to think about that. Yes. Don't use a canvas. Well, you could do, but the way I was thinking, right, you would have like the 3x3 grid would be like a set of divs. So you would have like 9 divs, essentially a grid. And then you would use perhaps JavaScript to add the symbol on the grid position that you click on. That's kind of where my head was at. But I suppose you could use a canvas, although I think using canvas would make this a little bit more overly complicated. Okay, what else shall we do? So we're building the game board, choosing whether you're choosing crosses or circles, creating a leaderboard. I would like something that on level 4, create a modal for create a modal. Create a modal, and this modal will contain create a modal, display a modal, create modals. I think there's going to be more than one. Display a modal when you win. Display a modal when you lose. And also, I'm thinking on my feet here, maybe we should have no, that's overcomplicating it. Okay, so for now, only show these. Only for now, create these, but don't show them. The thing is, this I only want to create on this round. I only want to do the actual the look and feel of it. I don't want to be doing the JavaScript. That's the next challenge. The challenge will be right now. We've got the game board. We've got the circles, the choices. Now let's actually build the functionality. So display a modal when you win. Display a modal when you lose. These can be hidden for now, as we will be creating, or will be adding the JavaScript in the next part of this challenge. Right, so I'm being asked, CSS libraries like Bootstrap, Tailwind, etc. Yes, go for it. Go for it, but really, again, I'm going to just sort of put down on here, we are going to be building tic-tac-toe. Hang on a minute, who asked me that? Exabyte. Oh no, Exabyte, no, you have to do this in vanilla CSS, my friend. You shouldn't have told me that you've already done this in TypeScript. No, seriously. You can use Bootstrap Tailwind if you want, but it would be nice if someone could do this in in vanilla. In this challenge, where have I got this? However, you could use bonus points if you use vanilla JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. And we'll put this up here as well. So JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. I'm not sure if that's the right way I need to do this, because they will create the icons. So let me just double check. Let's go back to March a second. JavaScript, HTML5, and CSS3. Let me just grab that a sec. So that's CSS3. These are just what the icons are called. HTML5. Go for it. Love it. I love it. I like your attitude. Do it. Do it. Awesome. So, I think that kind of covers it, really. I mean, let's have a little play. So, on here, right? Essentially, we're going to replicate this, right? So, we start the game, we click on there. How are we going to do time? Hang on a minute. Is this going to be... Because I had thought about doing this as a two-player game. I'm being... Oh yes, that's a good point. You can have draws. So display a modal when you have a draw. That's a good point. Display when there is a draw. Yeah, didn't think of that. Do I want to make this two-player, or do I want to make this a little bit more difficult and have the computer actually trying to win? I think for now it's probably best to do it as two-player, because then essentially what you've got is, you click once, that's one player, they click again, that's the next click is the second player, that kind of thing. Boom! In your face, Google. Exabyte said that he's a Flutter developer. Flutter now is it's the tool that you can use to create apps with, right? Wouldn't this be awesome if we could create this as an actual app? Maybe, I mean, depending on how we get on, right? Maybe we could create this as an app later. Play the Google Tic-Tac-Toe on hard. There is a hard level. I didn't see that. How do I do that? How do I... medium. Impossible. Okay, bring it on. Oh. Okay. Right. Let's try it. It's going to be stalemates all the way through, isn't it? Yeah, this is tricky. Trying to... Yeah. That's not going to work. Let's do this one. Right. Oh. Clever. Very... Oh. There is this thing here. So, play against a friend. Turn. So, we click on you. And then it's the next turn. Ah, that's cool. Maybe we should do that too. I'm just clicking about. Maybe we should do that too. So it will tell you which turn you're on. Yeah, let's do that. So build a 3x3 grid in HTML. Center the grid in the middle. Add borders except for the outside border. Make it responsive. To different screen sizes. Add I should do it here. Display whose turn it is above the game board. Oh yes, and we also need to have create a restart button. I'm going to put this up here just to say this is the first part of this challenge. This is the first part of this challenge, and this covers the display of the game board. The functionality, the JavaScript, the functionality will be covered in the next month's challenge. Have I spelled that wrong? Typo in Word. Can't spell functionality. Yeah. Oh, okay. Where is this to? Somewhere here. That's a who's, not a who. Display whose turn it is. Thank you. Turn it is above the game board. In the next month challenge, be to build the JavaScript. I'm going to just put this at the bottom as well. Functionality. I can't spell it. Next month challenge will be to build the JavaScript functionality. So make it look pretty. Yeah, I reckon that covers it, right? I don't think there's anything else. So build a 3x3 grid in HTML and CSS. Center the grid. Yeah, so I'm saying don't use canvas here, essentially. Build a 3x3 grid in HTML and CSS. Center the grid in the middle of the page. Add borders except for the outside border, right? So it will look like basically the crosses, as in like it will look like this cross, right? Make it responsive to different screen sizes. Level 2, choose crosses or circles. So create a HTML form, create a HTML form that allows you to choose your player symbol, crosses or circles. Display whose turn it is above the game board. Create a restart button. Below the game board. Okay. Level 3, create a leaderboard. Create a leaderboard above the game board. No, that's too many boards. That displays the current score and the player symbol. And the player's symbol. Level 4, create modals. These can be hidden for now, as we will be adding the JavaScript in the next part of the challenge. In the next part of this challenge. Yep. In the next. Yeah. Okay. Display in the. In the next. We'll be adding JavaScript in the JavaScript to the game next month. All right. Display a modal when you win. Display a modal when you lose. Display a modal when there is a draw. The next month's challenge will be to build the JavaScript functionality, so make the user interface look pretty. Cool. Cheers. Yeah, I think that's good. Well, it's good to have a grammar freak on board. I'm dyslexic, so any help is great. Where's that missing apostrophe? Next month's with an apostrophe. Next month's. Okay, next month's. Bing. Have I put that somewhere else as well? We are going a couple of months. Do I need to put one in there? Anywho, I think this looks good. I'm going to build this on. I'm going to build this locally, so we'll come out of this, and we'll go to code challenges, and we'll do an LS, and we'll do a Gatsby. We'll do a develop. This is because my NVM is wrong. So NVM use stable. Have I open sourced this? I think I have. I can't remember. I think I have. There's so many projects. Let's have a look. GitHub. I believe I have. Am I logged in? Yes. And I'm logged in as the right account as well, which is great. How to code? Well, I think I have. Yes. Well, that's the code of challenges. There we go. Code challenges. So yeah, I do have it. Groovy. So that's been built. So then let's go to here. Paste this in, and there we go. I'm gonna tidy this up a little bit because this doesn't actually say anything about tic-tac-toe. I'm gonna probably put in sort of a title here. Build tic-tac-toe in Java. JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. There we go. And I don't know why it says August. Yeah. Oh, actually, that's the title, isn't it? Silly me. Sorry. That's the title, so I don't need a title. There we go. Build tic-tac-toe in JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Building the user interface, part 1. We are going to be building a tic-tac-toe game in JavaScript. It's going to take a couple of months, and this is the first part. In this challenge, you'll be setting up the game environment and the user interface. You can mix JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Frameworks are allowed, however, bonus points if you use vanilla JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. This is the first part of the challenge, and this covers the display of the game board. The functionality will be covered in next month's challenge. Okay, level 1, build the game board. I'm going to just bring this up a little bit so you can see it a bit better. Build a 3x3 grid in HTML and CSS. Center the grid in the middle of the page. Add borders except for the outside border. Make it responsive to different screen sizes. Okay. So essentially, put in margin auto left and right for centering. Okay, with a fixed width. Choose crosses or circles. Create a HTML form that allows you to choose choose your player symbol. Okay. Display whose turn it is above the game board. Create a restart button below the game board. Create a leaderboard above the game that displays the current score and the player's symbol. Create modals. So these can be hidden for now, as we will be adding the JavaScript. To the game next month. Adding JavaScript to the. I hate words. Display a modal when you win. Display a modal when you lose. Display a modal when there is a draw. The next month's challenge will be to build the JavaScript functionality, so make the user interface look pretty, and then a link to how to submit it. So you would need to join with all of my life's mistakes. Fair play. So if you want to take part to this, go to the Discord, if I can spell it. Can't even spell Discord. You know, sometimes I just think I should just stay in bed. It's too difficult. So to take part, go to this website when it gets deployed. Read these levels, what you need to do, and then click on this link here, so how to submit your challenge. There'll be a link to the Discord, so submit your challenge now. And this will take you to our Discord server, into the Coding Challenges channel, and you submit your GitHub link to there. I think that kind of covers it, really. I think that covers it. I'm pretty happy with that, to be fair. It's everything out of my head. Cool. Right, so Exabyte says they're going to do a PR after the stream. Sweet. So what I'll do, thank you for that, Exabyte, I appreciate that. I will create a git commit this and just say we're on the September branch, adding September. September doesn't have a V in P. No. Adding September challenges. And we'll push this up. If I'm gonna have to, at some point, I'm gonna have to not use PHP Storm and do this using command line, because they've changed the interface and I'm not a massive fan. Oh, that's good. I'm glad you said that, Mr. DB. Sounds good and understandable to me. Cool. My gibberish makes sense. Okay. So I've pushed that up now to the branch. I guess what I could do is push it into master, which will deploy it. So I guess that's what we can do. Let's go to Git repository. Sorry, what am I doing? What am I doing? And we'll merge that in. I need some form of pipeline that does checks and verifications and things, but it's just a markdown file. Right, off it goes. No probs, Exabyte, that's fine, don't worry. You make do a PR, I appreciate it. In fact, what I'll do is I'll give you the link to that. If we go over to here, I could have just done a PR, whatever, never mind. This is the link, there you go. Yeah, I've heard some really interesting things about GitHub Actions. But I haven't done I haven't actually used GitHub Actions myself, so so I haven't done a video on them, but I would be very interested to learn more about that. GitHub actions. Cool. So there it is. It's being pushed up. If I refresh this page, fingers crossed, have we done a deployment? No, not yet. It always freaks me out when it takes this long. At least when I'm using AWS Amplify, I can actually visually see the pipeline. Come on. There we go. It's now live. Exabyte, you have my permission to pull it apart and send me a PR with any changes. Go for it. I just want to double check. Right, we've got. If I click on August, that should take us back to there. Yeah, and then view the current challenge here, which would take us to there. Perfect. Sweet. I'm really happy with that. I'm now going to read another page from this book because I really need to read more than just like a couple of pages per stream. Otherwise, this is going to take all year. No, I know. But what I would like, Exabyte, what I would really like eventually for this, plus AWS Amplify, of course, is to have a mechanism that once a deployment is done, I get an email back or some form of feedback that says that it's done. So having the ability to run actions, essentially the way I see it is a bit like Lambda scripts, so firing off little Lambda functions or actions. And it would be also nice to have something that would just touch each one of these pages to make sure that they are coming back with the status code. Yeah. Where are we at? Page 12. Okay. Page 12 of the TDD companion book. All right. TDD. Oh, sorry. The title of this is called Test. This is another funny thing. I'm dyslexic and I'm reading from a book live. That's how nutty I am. All right, test autonomy. Okay, TDD, when conducted as a specifying activity, is an aspect of behavioral-driven development, BDD. Behavior is what we specify and is what we drive into the system using tests. Therefore, when structuring the tests in TDD, we can be guided by the language of BDD, given, when, and then. So that's in bold. I don't know if it's really small. I might be able to just show you. Probably not. But anyway. Okay, given the system is a known condition, when an event occurs, then the system should be in the correct new condition. Yeah, that really says it, doesn't it? There's no mess in there. Any behavior can be specified in this way, and the description is understandable by everyone in the organization. Because we all grow up learning about the concept, I sound robotic, because we all grow up learning about the concept of cause and effect. Yeah. Okay. When TDD differs, however, where TDD differs, however, is that we make this actionable and thus executable. We change the terms accordingly. Some like to use arrange, act, assert, others prefer setup, trigger, verify, etc. But in any case, we turn the nouns of BDD into verbs of TDD. Nothing is given, we make it so. We don't wait for when, we do it. We know the then, because we observe it. When writing tests in TDD, we take pains to make sure these three different anatomical parts of the test are as distinct and clear as possible to future readers. Crikey. But yeah, that makes sense. I mean, I love that. I would love that, you know, given the system is a known condition, when an event occurs, then the system should be in the correct new condition. Yes. So in Cucumber, so when you're using Cucumber, like Cucumber.js, and you're using Gherkin, this is kind of the Gherkin language. Given, when, and then. Yeah. Cool. I'm learning loads from this book. I really do like it. Maybe a book cam is needed. Yeah, I like that idea. I haven't thought about that, but yeah, like a book cam. That's a really good idea. Like maybe a camera behind me, right, that can look over my shoulder, because I'm just looking down at a page that you're not seeing. So, yeah, I like that. I am going to write that down in my notes. It's just an excuse for me to get another camera, really, but book camera. I like that idea. So this would be behind the shoulder camera. Yeah, that's really cool. I do like that. I appreciate that. Thank you for the suggestion. Yeah, that's really, really cool. So that's really cool, and I think for the last hour, what I'm going to do of the stream, if it's all right with everybody, we're going to change tact completely now, and we're going to work on some of the testing stuff that the beta testers have kindly done, because unfortunately I didn't get an opportunity to do any streaming this week, just because I've been so busy with everything else, with work and everything. So I'm kind of falling behind, and I want to use this time to just pick that up a little bit. So if you don't mind, I'm just going to go back and do some, what would it be? JavaScript and Tailwind, CSS. So first thing I need to do, I guess, let's get rid of some of this stuff. I'm going to just bring this down here. I know I normally don't do this. It's usually just a code review and then another challenge, but just because I'm falling behind in time, and we've got another hour to play with, I'm going to just use that as this. So we're going to have a look at the Trello board now. And this is the board that we've got running, and we've got 3 beta testers so far. 4, there is someone else that I'm going to give access to. You're on the chat at the moment. I will soon, I promise. I did say I was going to do that a couple of minutes ago, like before the stream. You mentioned it on Discord. You know who I'm talking about. I just haven't got around to it yet. But anyway, these are the issues that the beta testers have kindly done. And they're really, really good. These are the bugs. And we've done some really nice labeling here, so we can label these with questions and stuff. So this is my way of commenting back and having a conversation with the beta testers. It's really good. This has worked out really, really well. So as you can see, there's a bunch of issues that I wasn't even aware of that we need to work through. So we won't go through all of them. See, there's a notification that I need to read. We won't go through all of them just because we don't have time. But we'll go through some. So the ones that and then I'll put them in development. So I have a Jira board. I have my own Jira board, and I'm not going to be putting these in Jira because that's just duping work. So what I'm going to do is tackle some low-hanging fruit here. So books should be on the target, so that's a low-hanging fruit. Footer links should be target blank as well, that's low-hanging. Top menus should be target blank too, so you can see a trend here. What else shall we do? There's nothing else which is target blank. Let's work on these first, and then once they're fixed, I'll move them over, and then once they're deployed, they're then deployed, and then what I'm going to do is ask kindly if the PR... Thank you for doing that, PR, I appreciate that, XY. I'll have a look after the stream. When they're deployed, I'll put them in deployed, and then I'll ask kindly for the beta testers to just verify the fixes. So I feel really bad that I'm kind of bleeding this into this stream, but I kind of really... I was kicking myself. I was so busy this last week. One evening I had to work through the night, and it's something that I don't really like doing, but I had to. Code challenges, which I'm looking for Portal. And we'll close all this, and I'll get this portal running on the front end. So let's come out of, let's create another tab, come out of that stream, and then go into code, how to code well, and it's portal. We do an ls, we're on master, we want to change that. We want to change that to be on the beta UI 1. Yep, actually I'll create a new branch because this is a round of fixes, so we'll do bugs, beta UI 2, and we need to do we need to run the Docker containers, so we need to do we need to come out of Docker machine start. There we go. So many different projects have different ways of starting things up. Then we need to go into the actual system, not in infrastructure, but in the actual API. And once that starts up, we need to evaluate the shell. We also need to have another terminal. It's getting really tricky now, isn't it? Actually, no, we don't. We don't need that because we don't need that. Yeah. So on the left-hand side, we got the portal. Once the Docker machine runs. Why is that taking so long? And then on this side, we have the API. Yeah, so that's an interesting question about Jira. So for the projects that I do, like professionally, the Jira stuff is already set up for me. So a client will come on and say, "This is the project." But for the stuff that I do personally, how to code well and everything, I just use the default because I'm not really into that kind of agile-ish kind of way. I'm not really bothered. The simplest thing I can do to get something down as a note is fine. So I just keep it to the default. Sometimes I use Kanban. Other times I use other things. Whatever kind of suits. I mean, right now we're just using Trello because that's just, you know, a very simple way of doing it. It will probably change and progress as things go on. How is that good? Right, let's eval the shell on this side. Let's eval the shell on this side. So now I should have docker ps-a. There we go. So they're all up and running. That's good. And now on this side, we'll just clear down the screen a bit and then do make install local dev. Whoops. I have just poured orange squash on my keyboard. Give me a second. Yes, not a lot. That's all right. Right, so we got an issue here. What's this? Is it MVP? I am really gonna have to sort this out. Every time I do something with Node and npm, I have to do use stable. It's just a case of going into my Z shell RC and then just changing the aliases. So, or running this command each time, or just uninstalling the old version of npm. I can't remember why I've got that running. Anyway, let's do a local install again. And whilst that's going on, let's have a look at, so books should be target blank. Let's have a look. It's just /books. Okay. Target blank. And then this footer links should be blank. And we've got a checklist here. Sweet. We'll do this one first, I think. So it's slowly building its thing. Creating the pages, extracting the components, yada yada yada. Just waiting for the final link. Come on. Come on. We took Murphy out for a walk today. A nice long walk not in the forest, but we've got like some really nice countryside by us. And he got himself stuck in a bunch of like the undergrowth. And when he came out of the undergrowth, he was covered in like bits of brambles, and like I don't know what you would call them, but they're like these things that stuck onto him, like foliage. And he had them all entwined in his fur and his tail, and we didn't realise the mass of it until we actually got back home. And we ended up having to settle him down. He's a Springer Spaniel, so we were very excited. So calm him down, and then we were holding him and very slowly and carefully cutting off, because it was so embedded in the fur. It's like, I don't know what it was. It was just like stuck to his fur. We ended up having to cut parts of his fur out to get this stuff off, and then we put him in the bath. So we have one clean puppy. What happened was, we've got this ball thrower. So I threw the ball with the ball thrower, and he went to jump and catch it, but he headed it. He headed it into a bush. So he dived straight into this bush, and he was trying to find this ball, and then he came out covered in just the forest, really. How's the upgrade going? Good question. Slow. slow. This week has been absolutely like just chocker with work, so it's been going very, very slowly. Okay, so this is the front end. They have released PHP 8 RC, is it 8.0.3, I believe. So if we go to I'll show you Docker Hub. And we search for PHP 8, just PHP, that'll do. I'm sure I read somewhere that they had released the third version of this. If we go to tags, that's the RC stuff. Busters, probably on the next page. 8, yeah, beta 3. Yeah, done 3 days ago. So I'm yet to pull that down and have a play with it. But yeah, it's happening, just very slowly. And the Symfony upgrade, I'm recording all of the deprecated warnings, and then there'll be a piece of work after this goes live to then go through each one and tidy that up. No, he doesn't have bald patches. Right, what's the so let's pick on one of these issues. Let's get rid of that for a minute and yeah, click on here. So footer links should be blank with the target blank. So wiki, code of conduct. So let's have a little click about. So wiki, where does that go? That goes straight to the wiki, right? It needs to have target blank on here. Okay. So let me remind myself where they live in components and then common. Layout, footer menu. There we go. They'll be in there. So that's a href. I'm looking for. Are they all hrefs? Are they all external links? So that is, and that is. They're all external. So that would be on the first hit here. So yeah, these could all be. These could all have target. Is underscore blank. That is, and that is. So they are both. They're all external as well. That's external. They're all external. Yeah, they're all. Oh, I've gone and added a. They are all external. Let me just double check that we've got. Come on, that should have gone. Yeah. What have we got here? Wiki, code of conduct. Yeah, these are all external links. Fair enough. Whoops. Right. So I'm also going to put in. I'm also going to put in. I forget. It's no follow. Although. Rel, what's a no follow link? Just give me an example. Rel no follow. That's what I'm after. I think there's another one I need to do as well. All right, let's put those in. Okay, so good question about Alpine. What is Alpine? So Alpine is small, tiny small images. So for instance, that's a very good question. I wonder if the tags show me the size. If we go to the sizes of the images. So, for instance, Alpine here, 24 megs as the compressed size, 23, 24, tiny images, like real small, even smaller, like yeah. So they come off of here. Which is 5 megs in size. So that's, so when you see a Docker image marked as or tagged with Alpine, it means they've come from this image, Docker Alpine image, and they are very small. So even smaller, 2.6. Wow. Let's have a look at the digest. It's tiny. You essentially, as a Docker developer, have to create this from the ground up. All right, you have to create the whole image from the ground up. There's hardly anything in there. Tiny images. Essentially, what Alpine means. A minimal Docker image based on the Alpine Linux, with a complete package index and only 5 megs in size. Right, give me a second. Clicking around, can't find it. It's footer links. So done, and done. All of these, if I was to click on this one, we should load up a new page. It does do the same. It does do the same. That's how to ask a question. That's the official site. In fact, coding courses here, shouldn't actually come out with an external. That's internal. Because essentially, coding courses should go to that page. So yeah, there's something I need to fix on that. So click on shop. Does that take me to the... And again, that should take me to... That should actually take me to /merch. Okay. Live coding. That shouldn't be external. That should take me to live. Yeah, so there's a couple of things I need to do, actually. It's not as... It's not as simple as this, so let's do shop. There's a couple of ones that... Actually, yeah. Oh, I see why the tester's done this. I've gotcha. Yeah, it's just me being... Right. Where is all this coming from? Menu, import menu from footer menu items. So it's this. So we've got wiki URL. Okay, so what I need to do is change this up to be have both internal and external. So header menu items has internal. So we need to click on this, or copy that, sorry, and then in there, yeah, we need to mark it whether it's internal or external. So this would be internal is false. Internal is false. Whoops.
Hello, coders.
I was doing no follow. Yes, thank you. I've gone and yeah, I have my thinking about other things. Hey, someone's followed me, but I don't know who, because my activity feed has not been updated from Twitch. So thank you ever so much for someone who's followed me, but my activity feed hasn't followed. I don't know who it is. Right. Right, wiki is external. Code of conduct is external. How to ask a question is external. Coding courses is internal, and that's true. And if we had a look at how that's set in here, so if that's true, it's just /. Yep, so that would be /courses. The shop, I'm going to change this to books. Actually, I'm going to make that call. I'm going to change that to books. Live coding is, and that's internal as well. That is internal, because that's going to go to live. Alright, so join the community is external, so internal is false. Actually, no, that's internal, isn't it? So that's true, because that goes to Discord, /Discord. Twitter is definitely external, YouTube is external, and Twitch is external. Right, so now we've got the true-false kind of mechanism going on here. It means that if I followed how this works with the header menu, so we've got a conditional here. So if item .internal, then we render a link, else we render an A tag. My activity feed still hasn't been updated. All right. So I kind of need to have like this. It is it's essentially this, isn't it? In here. For each one. Now, this is kind of making me feel like this task is actually bigger than it is, or this is bigger than I first thought, because essentially what I need to do is duplicate the code 3 times. 4 times if you count the header menu. So I'm thinking maybe what we should do is how is that? Is this done in a UL and an LI? Yeah, that's the problem. I was going to suggest having a component. Thing is, this one creates it as an LI, whereas the header menu, it doesn't. So there will be a bit of code duplication. Let me just do it as is first, right? No, this is already looking terrible. Let's create a component. I've called it. Let's do it. Let's create a component. So we will call this link collection. And link collection. Let me tidy this up. We don't need that. I don't think. what we do need is, it's essentially going to be this. Whoops. Without the divs, without all this stuff, it's going to be like that, essentially. We're going to need to pass in links, and we'll map the links by item key. And I guess we could do, in fact we could actually let's tidy this up. Let's tidy that up. Let's bring that over there. Okay, so links.map item key. We're passing in an li. We're returning an li, sorry. And in there we have the a. I think we could go one step further than this, actually. We could say that we're going to return a ul as well around this. So we could do that. That kind of makes it look a little bit better. However, this is the problem, because I think it needs to be on a single line. Right, anyway, so links.map. So we pass in links and then we loop over them. We return this. Get the URL. We also need to do that check for whether or not it is external and internal. So it would be like this. Oops. I'm not worrying too much about the highlight for now. So if item.xl, yeah, let's put this, let's grab that. Let's put this on another section here, split vertically. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. So on the right hand side now, sorry, on the left hand side, what am I saying? That's the link, there we go. And then this is the header. Gotcha. I just wanted something to verify. Hey, I've got another follower, but I don't know who it is because my activity feed has just basically frozen. So, hey, Liquid Oxygen, thank you for joining. Finally functioning again after a migraine. Oh, it sucks. Yeah, so we did the review. Like an hour or so ago. So what I'll do is in the Discord, once this is up, I will send you the clip or the VOD or whatever it's called. Once it's up and ready. But thank you very much for Liquid Oxygen for submitting. Yeah, migraines suck. How long have I got? Probably enough just to fix this. So, okay, link collection. We're returning .map. This needs to actually return obviously it needs to return something itself, right? It's for everyone. And now this allows me to then get the internal stuff. So if item is internal, then we do X. If it's external, then we do Y. So that's with the links, right? So this would be external. If internal, we would return this, but using links. Whoops. So we would have UL, LI, A, but this would be link. It won't have a href, it would have a 2. And I need to work out what that would be. So we've got URLs. In here, I kind of want to keep consistency. We have URLs. Okay, good, that's fine. Well, that's good. So, link collection again. So link a class name. Of course, okay. Okay, so that would still be item URL. Nice. And then here we will return a UL. Unexpected statements. Nightmare. Yeah, there's too many of those. And I think there might be too many of these. That's fine. That's the link.map. That closes this. So yeah, I'm not sure that's... I think this needs to be on the other side. Does it not? So that closes this. This closes that. That closes that. Then we would have... oh wait, hang on. What's that? That closes this. Then we would have a bracket. And then we would close this off. There we go. Wow. Ouch. Just reading your comments there, Liquid Oxygen. That does not sound fun. So yeah, so we got the internal and the else side of that, I guess. So if it is internal, then we use a link. Okay, it's saying that that's not up there as an import, so let's do that. There we go. And then also, this doesn't look right either. Let's it's complaining about links. Is it because I haven't put in any prop types to say what the links are? Might be. None of these have any prop types. In the link collection. So we'd have prop types of links. And the link would have, it would be, yeah, that's fine. It won't have any attributes. It would have, that. Thank you. So a link will have a name, and that is a string, and it is required. Whoops. My window's getting too small. In fact, we could probably just get rid of this and get rid of that one, to be honest. So we have links, we have URL, we have name, and we have internal. Internal being a boolean. And then we close that off. Then we close that off. And then we close. No, that's it. That's it, I think. Yeah. Cool. All right. So then we pass in links into here. And then we return links.map item key. I think that's how I can do that. Obviously this needs to be done in a render routine, right? Good old React. And so actually thinking about it, so we would do a return. So it would be return, just looking at this, and I'm not sure we would need that, to be honest. It would just be, it'd be that, wouldn't it? No. Hang on a minute. I've screwed this up. Again, we render, we then return. Okay, good. So 1 and then 2. 1, aha. And then, no, that's wrong, because that closes the actual function. So we do need that one, but then behind it, we need that. So we have the return, but we don't need that. And I don't think we need that. So that's good. That's good. I think that. And then this is ESLint issues, just indentation issues. Render. Render is not defined. Of course it is. Oh, right. This needs to extend. Oh dear. I've done all this backwards. I've done this all backwards. Extends and then components from React. And there we have our render routine. And I think we put that into here, do we not? Is that, no? Const, it's a class, it's not a const. And we don't need this. Hold fire, hang on a minute. Let me just compare another component. I'm getting confused. You have to forgive me. I've done, I did PHP this morning. I did Python on the stream. I did JavaScript on the stream. And now we're doing React. So just give me a couple of minutes whilst I sort myself out. I've done it all wrong. Of course I have. Why wouldn't I have? I've done it all wrong. I've done it all wrong. There we go. Okay, so we pass in links into the link collection and we return links.map, fine. Okay, so now I need to sort out these bits again. Ugh. Right, so that returns, and then after the return we just have that, and then we sort that out, and then hopefully it's just a case of fixing these stupid ESLint issues. There we go. I think we're in a good shape. Wow, that took far too long. If you ever wanted to get imposter syndrome really quickly, try and do something like this live. Oh, I'm getting a network error, so let me refresh here. Marvelous. I love the fact that my stream keeps dropping, like on my end. Hey, now I can actually see my activity feed. Oh, thank you very much for following. It's RJ Rustev and Dane the Developer. Thank you both for following. I really do appreciate that. And of course, thank you very much for Weird for following earlier too. I really appreciate that. Thank you. I've just refreshed the page on my Twitch stream, which unfortunately means that I've gone and missed a lot of the chat. So well, I've done Regex Live, Liquidox. I've done Regex Live, and that was probably close to one of my trickiest streams. Yeah, not easy. Not easy, but I'm just thankful for all the people that were on the stream that were giving me support whilst I was doing it. That was a couple of challenges back. Cool. So I think we're in a good shape here. If I let's just get rid of some of this nonsense. What I need to do in the footer menu is now import that in and then pass in menu.left and menu.middle and menu.right. I think that's what I need to do. So I can get rid of this this now, and I guess I could do link collection, and you pass in links, and this would be menu.left. So what we'll do is we'll just get rid of this. I'll just put it on my clipboard for now, and then hopefully, fingers crossed, the site is still up. Not that one, this one. Scroll to the bottom. I'm just going to do a refresh just to please me. I know it hot reloads, but let's just... Yes, it does. So wiki should be a target blank. So if we click on that, that's target blank. Code of conduct should be target blank too. That's fine. How to ask a question is also target blank. Marvelous. So now we'll do the same thing, but we'll do it for the middle section. So this would be menu middle. Now this one is the one that has both internal and external links. So let's just try that. So let's refresh again, and let me just double check that this has actually done a build. Yes, it has. Come on the image, thank you. Right, so this is all good. If I was to click on code courses, we should, before it was jumping straight to the old How to Code Well website. This should take us to the coding, this should take us to the courses page. In fact, what I'll do, just to double check this, we'll go to the pricing page at the moment, and then we'll click on code courses. That should take us to the courses page. So click on that, and it does, so that's fine. Okay, so books should take us also to the books page, which it is, and live coding should take us to the live page, which is doing, and I'll have a quick wave to myself. Once it loads, of course. Woo! There we go. And live coding should take us to the live page. Okay, so that's good. And then what we'll do is the same thing, but we'll do it for the next one, which is menu right. So we'll grab this, paste it in, and we'll do menu right. Okay, so now let's that has been rebuilt. Again, it's just because I'm used to it. I'm going to refresh the page. I know I don't need to. I know it hot reloads fine. Anyway, so join the community should take us internally to the Discord page, which it's doing. Twitter, I know there's some issues. Twitter should take us to the external Twitter page. And I think I'm logged in, so I'm going to... I'm not going to click those. I'm going to verify that just because I'm logged in at the moment on this browser. And I don't want... I obviously don't want to access those pages because I don't want to show you what's on my YouTube Studio. So that should have target blank, which it is, and then this one down here should have target blank 2, which it does, and then the one below, Twitch, should also have target blank, which it does. So yeah, I'm happy with that. That's good. I will now go and commit this work. So adding link collection component, which uses both, which allows for both internal and external links. Okay. Right, so I'm going to now go to here, and we'll tick all those which were done. And I'm going to mark this as, this was this one. I'm going to mark this as fixed, however it's not deployed. So we'll wait for more of these to get fixed before I do a deployment, because there's no point in, like, when we may as well batch this up, get a deployment going, and then get another round of testing. I think that's probably the best thing to do. Because I wouldn't mind the beta testers to verify that these are actually fixed from their end as well. And look at that, we've just hit the top of the hour, 16:49. So that was really good. We've done a really good stream today. I feel happy. It's nice. So we've done the review, which was Python, and that was really good. Everybody did a really good job. Thank you everybody for all of your hard work. And we also created the next challenge, which is the build the tic-tac-toe in JavaScript. I'm going to go through all of this in just a second. And then what I did is we went to Trello and we fixed that one bug that the beta testers had found. Or they found 10 other issues that I will be going through in my own time. And also next week on stream, hopefully if I can get a chance to do it. I've just been so busy recently. It's been mental. Before I talk about this though, I am going to read another page of the TDD, and whilst that goes on, I'll put this on to let's get rid of this for a second. I just want to show up, just put all the courses up whilst I'm doing it. So we'll read another page from the TDD companion. This is page 13. Yeah, 13. This is called Keeping Tests Green. Ideally, in TDD, no more than one test is ever failing at any given point in time. This test represents the work that is about to be done, but hasn't yet. Also, this test should not spend a long time in the red. We want the suite to get back to all green as quickly as possible. Here are some reasons for this. To turn a passing test frequently, to return to passing tests frequently, developers are encouraged to work in small steps. This reduces the likelihood of errors and also reduces the waste that the task switching can produce. Whenever the suite is all green, the code can be committed to version control. The longer you wait to do this, the more likely you will be required to perform merge tasks which have no real business value. Okay, I haven't thought of that before, but yeah. It is the nature of daily businesses. Sorry, it is the nature of daily business that we sometimes get interrupted. Yeah, don't I know that? If we are forced to break away abruptly, then we return later. Then when we return later, it may be hard to regather the context of work we were doing. If tests had been all green only a few minutes before the interruption, then falling back does not mean a lot of work will be lost. That is a very good point. Children are encouraged to eat small bites and chew their food thoroughly so that they will not choke, rush, or overeat. Doing TDD in small feedback loops follows the same principle. That is an amazing analogy. I love that. That's so cool. I really do dig this book. Really, really do. That's so cool. We're only on page 13. So, all right, let's crack on and wrap this up. And what I'm going to do is talk about the next challenge. All right, because it's going to be an awesome one. No worries, Mr. DB. I really appreciate that. Thank you for saying that. It's very nice of you. So this is a challenge that's going to cover a couple of months. All right, because it's a big ask. It's another game. We've already built a game before in JavaScript. We did that fighting game, but this time I want you to build tic-tac-toe in JavaScript using HTML and CSS. So I'll just read it through. So we are going to be building tic-tac-toe game in JavaScript. It's going to take a couple of months, and this is the first part. Okay, so building the user interface, part 1. In this challenge, you'll be setting up the game environment and the user interface. You can mix JavaScript, HTML, and CSS. Frameworks are allowed, however, bonus points if you use vanilla JavaScript, CSS, and HTML. This is the first part of this challenge and covers the display of the game board. The functionality will be covered in next month's challenge. So all I want in this month is just the user interface. I'm not bothered by the functionality. That's going to come later on. This is just setting the scene, building up the game. So the first level is to build the game board. So build a 3x3 grid because it's tic-tac-toe, and tic-tac-toe, I'll just show you quickly. Tic-tac-toe looks like this. Okay, so in HTML and CSS, build something like that, right? A grid like that. Okay, so build a 3x3 grid because there's obviously three rows and 3 columns. Center the grid in the middle of the page, so use margin auto, right and left, and a width. Add borders except for the outside border. So I kind of want it to look a little bit like this, right? So borders in the middle, no borders on the outside. Okay, make it responsive to different screen sizes. And then level 2 is choose crosses or circles. So create a HTML form that allows you to choose your player symbol, crosses or circles. Display whose turn it is above the game board. And then create a restart button below the game board. So none of the functionality of this will actually be in this challenge. It's just you're just creating the interface. So level 3, create the leaderboard. Create a leaderboard above the game that displays the current score and player's symbol. Level 4, create modals. So these can be hidden for now as we will be adding the JavaScript to the game next month. So display a modal when you win, display a modal when you lose, display a modal when you draw. Then the next month's challenge will be to build the JavaScript functionality, so make the user interface look pretty. Now, before I forget, excuse me, we have Exabyte has done a pull request, I believe. So I'm just going to go on to GitHub and review it. Before I forget, I'm sure that was mentioned. Let me just go into the right places. Grammar fixes. Cool. Let's have a look. Commits, checks, files changed. Alright. And a full stop. EXC. Oh, I can't spell accept. Okay, and the players with an S. Okay, when, if. Then the next challenge, and then a full stop on it. Cool, I like that. Thank you very much, Exabyte. I appreciate that. I will. I'll close this. Well, I'll go back to the. I'll review the changes. I will set them as approved. Submit the review, and then I'll merge that in. Thank you. And then I'll add that. Oh, I should have closed with a comment. Oh well. Close the pull. Well, merge. Yeah, merge the request. Confirm the merge. There we go. So that should now actually be, well, eventually, after it does its motions, it will go live because we're using Netlify to host this. So it should have been merged. Whoops. Should have been merged into the master branch. So if we go back to here, which it has done. So thank you very much, Exabyte, for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So yeah, I will. I look forward to seeing all of these challenges and these tic-tac-toe games. I really appreciate it. And when you do go to submit your challenge, what you do is you create a GitHub repository with this in. And then there's a button down here, how to submit your coding challenge. In here, you can to submit your code review, create a GitHub repository per challenge and post the GitHub repository link to the Coding Challenges channel in the How to Code Well Discord server. And then each challenge will be reviewed live on Twitch at the end of the month. Take a look at this month's coding challenge, which is the tic-tac-toe game. So, with that said, I am now going to shoot off and have some dinner. Thank you ever so much for watching. I really do appreciate all of your hard work. It's really been great. I love doing these things. Thank you also for all the suggestions as well for future content, and also that suggestion for getting a camera for the book. That was really handy. Thank you for your submissions as well. Really good. Really enjoyed to go through all that Python work. Thank you ever so much, everybody. Happy coding, and have a great rest of your Sunday. Cheers. Bye-bye.